It's 2021 and the bull run is approaching a climax. It's believed by many that the bull run will end sometime this year, and that the exact date based on the golden bull ratio is late September. If this is the case, then we are running out of time to capitalize on the absolutely insane growth that we've seen in the space in the past year or so. Ever since the Bitcoin halving, the supply shock trigger was sent out into the market and prices have been appreciating in the order of 10x or more. Some altcoins have already seen 100x returns, showing that adoption for the space is only increasing. One aspect of this adoption is institutional investors getting into the face of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Rumored to be the case but now officially announced, Tesla have bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin for their treasury, one of the biggest examples we've seen of institutional adoption taking place in the space. We've seen MicroStrategy, Grayscale and PayPal all buying huge amounts of Bitcoin, much more than is currently being supplied. But in this video, we'll discuss how Tesla buying Bitcoin could be a huge turning point in mainstream adoption for cryptocurrency. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. Tesla have bought Bitcoin. This is not a drill. This is not Moonboy news. This is real life. It would have been hard to believe in the previous bull run that any institutional investors would be getting involved in cryptocurrency whatsoever, as at the time the media was continuously doubting cryptocurrency as a true asset class and claimed that all projects in the cryptocurrency space were a scam. As is well known, mainstream media is not the most unbiased gateway to knowledge, and there are often agendas which cannot be seen behind these sorts of attacks. Because of this, cryptocurrency has always been viewed by the everyday people in a negative light. This negative attribution cast on Bitcoin was likely an attempt by the powers that be to limit Bitcoin's success, as it challenges the current status quo. However, institutional money has been flowing into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space for the past year, leading to new all-time highs in virtually every single asset, and is leading to crypto becoming the best performing asset class of all time. Bitcoin's price shot up massively with the news, with a huge extended run breaking past all-time highs yet again for Bitcoin, showing that Bitcoin still has plenty to go in the future before any significant bear market. Many conflicting reports from banks such as JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs were touting a Bitcoin over $300,000, followed a week later by a report saying the top was in for Bitcoin. Media FUD campaigns often have a part to play in the ups and downs of investing, but I'd advise everyone to do their research thoroughly before taking any piece of information granted, even us. Whilst Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general is a very volatile asset class, it's clear that the general trend in the future will be up. It's likely if you bought and held Bitcoin for 10 years that you would see some fantastic gains as a result. Because of the recent all-time high, basically every single person in history that owns Bitcoin is up on their investment, and this is a trend which is unlikely to be broken soon. Elon Musk is an individual who has never seemed to do things by the book. He's faced intense criticism for most of his career, especially through Tesla, about trying to take on the status quo. But he is a perfect example of how the right attitude and determinations, even in the most embedded systems, can be disrupted and even replaced. When Tesla first started, electric vehicles were seen as unviable and necessary at some point, but in the future. This led to vehicle manufacturers stagnating with little innovation, as they had no competition. Once Tesla really started to gain traction and make a name for itself, the snowball effect of innovation became clear, and investors started to buy into the ideology that Tesla stood for, which was progress over profit. Tesla is now the most valuable car company in the world, and Elon Musk is the richest man. His willingness to embrace change and future technology is an attitude which has seen him dubbed as the unofficial CEO of Dogecoin. Bitcoin and the flood of money into Bitcoin now with individuals such as Elon Musk make the success and growth of Bitcoin into the future seem increasingly likely. Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy is another proponent of Bitcoin and is currently in talks with Fortune 500 companies on how to adopt Bitcoin onto their balance sheets. These sorts of developments will undoubtedly lead to huge spikes in price for Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency space. Elon Musk is now the richest man in the world and has a huge amount of influence. He's always been disparaging of the current systems in place, and his support of cryptocurrency is another show of faith in new systems that can replace outdated ones. His recent tweets stating it was inevitable show his belief that in the long run technology and the need for innovation will always win out over the powers that are attempting to keep things the way that they are. Media manipulation over the price of Bitcoin has always been blatant, and market manipulation is something that is currently in the minds of the world, with the recent uprising against hedge funds with Wall Street bets. The current systems are believed by many to be broken, and the technological advancement of decentralized finance is designed to take the power back for the people. This paradigm shift in mentality towards cryptocurrency will likely be a turning point for its adoption. The market cap for the total cryptocurrency space is now well over $1.2 trillion, the highest that it's ever been, and it could be anywhere between 5 to 10 trillion or more in the year ahead. The sheer wall of money from institutions that is coming will be staggering, and Tesla is just one of the first companies to formally adopt the asset into its treasury. Once many companies and on-ramps are interfacing with the space, further adoption into the networks will continue to drive the price up. Metcalfe's law is the descriptor of this phenomenon, which shows how a network's value is the amount of its participants squared. With publicity for Bitcoin reaching incredible new highs, the amount of adoption will drive the price to insane new all-time highs consistently for the next year, with 100k Bitcoin seeming a question of when rather than if. Beyond 100k, the question of Bitcoin's utility can show where the price will likely go in the future. A store of value asset which has been commonly compared to gold could displace the outdated metal as the new form of value storage. Weighing in at between $10 to $20 trillion, Bitcoin would have to 10x from its current price to reach market caps of that sort of caliber. The continuous pouring of money into Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space will likely decrease the volatility of the market in the future, with many investors deciding to buy and hold rather than sell the peak of the bull run. Whilst an eventual bear market is likely after a huge run up in price, the sheer amount of money in the space will likely prop the price up in the future. Previously, Bitcoin pulled back over 80% from its peak in 2017, but with the amount of institutional money flowing in, it's more likely that the price of Bitcoin will only reduce on the magnitude of 50% or less, being propped up by huge institutional investment. Combined with the sharp decline in supply, with the amount of buying and holding, Bitcoin is likely to become much more stable in the future. Also, like it or not, but this revelation also brings many investors exposure to cryptocurrency in some small way, as now Tesla has official ties with Bitcoin itself. This means that everyone who's invested in Tesla has a small amount of exposure and support placed in Bitcoin, and this may lead to further adoption and awareness for Bitcoin and the potential of the cryptocurrency space. For many years, crypto was seen as a highly risky and volatile asset class that is not designed for retail investment, but the continued adoption by institutional investors will likely give everyday people the confidence to invest. Tesla's investment into Bitcoin may well be one of the biggest pieces of news to ever happen to the cryptocurrency space, as it paves the way for the legitimacy of not only Bitcoin, but even other assets as well. Tesla's involvement is truly a step in the right direction. So what do you think of Tesla buying Bitcoin? How high do you think Bitcoin could reach this year? Drop a comment down below and share your price target for Bitcoin, along with the reasons behind it. We're always interested to know what you think. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.